ceritakan tak proses perjalanan pulang YB ke Semenanjung Malaysia?
Once deportation takes place, yes, bila dia keluarkan arahan untuk deportasi, maka mereka akan menyemak waktu-waktu penerbangan dan saya dihantar untuk pulang penerbangan yang tercepat untuk jadual. Dan saya diiringi oleh 3 anggota daripada immigration. Salah seorangnya polis, kalau tidak silap saya. Mereka tidak memperkenalkan diri dan saya tidak dibenarkan berhenti atau bertemu dengan peguam saya, saudara-saudara liking. Saya minta, I want to see my counsel. I want to make sure I understand my rights. Tidak dibenarkan. Mereka escort iring sampai ke tempat duduk saya di kapal terbang.
Can I just clear up? There's
Yes.
some thought that this is based on the 20-point agreement or 18-point agreement. This is part of the state government's right to deny.
Nobody is questioning the state government's right. I'm not questioning the state government's right. My point here is the politicization and abuse of power, the politicization of security. You have to understand under Section 67 of the Immigration Act, it clearly states, I am there for a legitimate political activity. No one can stop me, including the state. If you are against us entering, sure, nobody's questioning that power, but give a reasonable justification, a rationale for doing so. I have attended every year during keamatan. I've never failed to do so, and I'm completely, rejecting this high-handedness by the chief minister, and I completely blame him. And you are talking about a series of other people. Right now, I'm told many others will be barred from entry. And can you imagine, you can't even disclose the list to public. Do you expect us to fly all the way, just to be barred from entering Sabah? And I'm sure this will be echoed in Sarawak, but my point is, this has to be condemned. I applaud the Member of Parliament of Kinabatangan for coming out courageously, condemning, but I hope he can put some sense into the leadership of Sabah. And of course, the Sri Najib has to be involved. I mean, we're talking about this taking place when the RCI's findings clearly show the staggering numbers of illegal immigrants, foreign workers, overnight naturalized citizens. This is a problem in Sabah. You just look at, they just established 3 centers for ASCOM. You see, the new security checkpoints. Shouldn't that be the concern? I don't see any barrier, any linkage as to why YB Ten Chua, and of course Dr. Ibrahim and scores of others are targeted. And Malaysians should rightly ask. We are not questioning the law. We are not questioning their right. We are not questioning the 20-point agreement for Sabah, 18 for Sarawak.
You mentioned just now the same might happen to Anwar Ibrahim.
I suspect because, of course, they were very. I think they were very mum. I asked a few questions, and I understand they were following orders. And of course, I called Musa Aman responsible. But then, from the little that I got, Dr. Ibrahim is also included, including the rest. Lim Kit Siang as well, because YB Lim Kit Siang went. And they said at the time, there was the only one-time pass, because the law was not immediately formalized, so they allow him to go in. So that's it. And I asked, for how long will you bar me from entering Sabah? We can't answer. That's up to further instructions.
What is the court action that you're taking? What is the
Basically, abuse of power, because you're talking about, yes, the state's allocated certain rights, but I also have my rights enshrined under Section 67 of the Immigration Act, which I mentioned earlier. And in the past, Dato' Ambiga Srinivasan filed and challenged the law, but it was in Sarawak. However, it was filed in Semenanjung. So right now, I'm consulting the lawyers in Sabah, and we're going to challenge the law in Sabah, in Kota Kinabalu, where the deportation took place. And this is very important because you are going to set a precedent. You are going to allow such transgressions to continue if you don't put a stop to it.
betul tak YB terima ulu-ulu atau kabar angin yang YB akan dihalang ke Sabah?
Tidak. Seperti yang saya sebut, setiap tahun saya pergi untuk program keamatan dan bertemu dengan pimpinan Parti Keadilan Rakyat untuk program-program politik yang sah. Justru tidak ada sebab kenapa saya ditolak, tidak ada ura-ura ataupun kabar angin yang menyatakan saya bakal dan akan menafikan hak untuk masuk ke negeri Sabah.
Maybe this is a bit of a long shot. Elections are just over, and the next one is it's 4 years away.
Depending on the internal dynamics within UMNO. Okay.
You're the first elected rep to be barred from Sabah, and at least expecting more opposition figures to be barred from Sabah. What is your take that this could be a way to stop the opposition from making more inroads into Sabah itself, which is where logically the opposition has to go in order to put in way win more seats in the next election?
I don't discount that, but again, it just proves my assertion that this is clearly an abuse of power. And it flies in the face of Datuk Seri Najib Razak's promise and offer of a national reconciliation. And I think Malaysians must reject this show of high-handedness. Just what? Because you fear the encroachment of Pakatan Rakyat in rural areas, especially in East Malaysia. It's completely unacceptable. How can you do this? And their focus, over the last 1 year has been on Sabah's territorial safety, the fact that there's so many foreigners who can easily come via boat, etc. Only starting April 2013 that they put a stop on boats coming into Sabah. So can you imagine, they have this right in front of them, facing them, this huge challenge on Sabah's territorial sovereignty, and they can just misuse the power for what? For BN's interest in the coming elections. It's really shameful. I mean, after having an RCI, an ongoing RCI, at the very least, they could really concentrate all efforts to protect Sabah's borders. I mean, it really saddens me. I was quite shocked, yesterday when it took place, but I immediately, because usually the immigration officers are very courteous, very cordial, I immediately knew it was either deportation or arrest in a detention center. It was proven right.
When's the last time you were in Sabah?
Just a couple months back, I think about 3-4 months back, I have to check my passport. But this year, I was in Penampang and Kota Belud. About 2 months, less than 3 months back.
Were you traveling alone?
Yes. Scores of others on AirAsia. So technically not alone.
Do you expect?
You didn't have an officer or colleague with you?
No, our paychecks haven't been. No, I was traveling alone. Traveling alone.
Do you expect any answer from the federal government or from the state government?
Well, regardless of my expectation, I will continue to pester and demand for answers and explanations, because this is something that we should not allow them to escape by using this. It's completely unacceptable.
When do you expect to file the lawsuit?
We're discussing, because again, it's a bit complicated for us in West Malaysia, because the laws is a bit different. I think I was just speaking to lawyers who were involved with Amiga's filing, and Darul will gather, he will head a committee in Kota Kinabalu, and will proceed from there. But it's very important because, again, it must be done to ensure that this abuse does not continue. So definitely Datuk Seri Musa Aman going to be named the main respondent.
Is there any outcome in the Ambiga's case yet so far?
I think they lost it because it depends. You have to file it in the particular area where you reported. That was filed in Semenanjung. Again, I reiterate, we are not questioning the rights of Sabah State. We are questioning the use of the power and the law or abuse. Okay, thank you very much. There will be a press conference on the TPPA on Monday. So just a little heads up.
What is TPP?
Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, which involves 12 countries as of today. Okay. Thank you guys. I really will miss Sabah. I really will, seriously. It's such a beautiful country.
Sorry, what time on Monday?
We'll issue a press release, but usually we'll issue a press notice for promptly 11. I think that's time. Anyway, thank you. Have you guys been to the Uduk Gadau competition?
Is that why you want to?
No lah, to meet them. I'm not a man, that's not my favorite part. Dekat pengalang saya diambil di pintu masuk immigration. Usaha menghalang saya daripada memasuki negeri Sabah, walaupun hak saya selaku warga negara Malaysia termaktub di bawah Seksyen 67 Akta Immigration 1999/63, di mana dinyatakan hak untuk masuk ke negeri Malaysia Timur bagi menjalankan hak-hak politik. Seksyen 66(1) hendaklah tidak berkuat kuasa dalam hubungan dengan seseorang warga negara yang memasuki negeri Malaysia Timur hanya untuk menceburkan diri dalam aktiviti politik yang sah, tetapi beban membuktikan bahawa seseorang itu berhak memasuki negeri Malaysia Timur di bawah seksyen ini terletak ke atasnya. Lawatan saya ke Sabah adalah untuk menghadirkan diri dalam program Parti Keadilan Rakyat Sabah di samping menyambut pesta keamatan bersama warga tempatan. Alasan yang diberikan atas penahanan saya adalah yang dikeluarkan atas arahan pejabat Ketua Menteri Sabah. Saya juga difahamkan ada nama-nama lain termasuk aktivis tempatan beserta ahli politik Pakatan Rakyat yang akan juga dinafikan kemasukan ke negeri Sabah atas arahan pejabat Ketua Menteri. Sebagai seorang ahli Parlimen Malaysia dan warga negara Malaysia, tindakan menyekat kemasukan tidak rasional dan bersebab ini merupakan salah guna kuasa yang melampau dan cukup anti-demokratik. Permohonan saya sepatutnya untuk mendapatkan senarai nama mereka yang terlarang telah ditolak atas sebab-sebab kerahsiaan. Tiada alasan lain diberikan dalam tangkapan dan penafian masuk saya ke negeri Sabah. Saya dimaklumkan kemungkinan besar Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, Ketua Pembangkang, juga Ketua Umum Parti Keadilan Rakyat akan dihalang juga daripada memasuki negeri Sabah. Sekiranya saya dianggap mengancam keselamatan warga Sabah, maka kemukakan rasional serta penjelasan atas dakwaan tersebut. Rasional yang sama juga perlu diberikan dalam kes YB Tien Chua, ahli Parlimen Batu dan Naib Presiden Keadilan yang juga dinafikan kemasukan pada 7 April 2013. Isu keselamatan negara dan persempadanan tidak boleh sama sekali dipolitikkan. Malang, tindakan menghalang saya daripada masuk ke negeri di bawah Bayu ini berlaku dikala Sabah berhadapan dengan kebolosan sempadan, termasuklah pengeluaran kad pengenalan secara haram seperti yang sedang disiasat oleh Suruhanjaya Diraja Sabah. Seharusnya tumpuan kerajaan negeri adalah mengawal selia masalah kebolosan yang mendesak ini, bukan menyalahgunakan kuasa dengan menafikan hak demokrasi dan aktiviti politik pimpinan Pakatan Rakyat demi mempertahan kedudukan UMNO dan Barisan Nasional. Justru, isu keselamatan dan kedaulatan negara sepatutnya tidak diperlekeh dengan menjadikan ia alat politik menindas rakyat. Keadilan, saya akan menghantar surat rasmi kepada pejabat Ketua Menteri Sabah untuk mengemukakan aduan dan mendapatkan penjelasan penuh tentang isu ini, dan juga meminta diberikan kepada umum senarai mereka-mereka yang dihalang masuk ke negeri Sabah. Saya fikir senarai ini tak boleh dirahsiakan, harus dimaklumkan supaya rakyat pun tahu siapa yang membahayakan keselamatan warga di Sabah dan apakah sebab rasional justifikasi halangan tersebut. Pada masa yang sama, saya sudah berbincang dengan Yang Berhormat Saudara Gani Laiking, Ahli Parlimen Penampang, serta teman-teman guaman yang lain untuk mengambil tindakan undang-undang terhadap Ketua Menteri yang akan kita filekan di Kota Kinabalu Kelab.